I was playing round 4 of the European Women's Blitz Chess Championship, and in this round, I had the black pieces against Tina Prochaieva, a Ukrainian girl who was rated 1839. So I was really excited to play this game, and we were both just kind of waiting around. I was pretty focused. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at the board, but I think I was thinking more about my previous game. But then finally, the arbiter said, start the clocks. We shook hands and I started the clock. So she went d4, d5. We brought out our knights. She went c4, e6. And I was playing this very fast because we only had 3 minutes each on the clock. We get a 2-second increment, but the games are very fast. So I took back her pawn, she brought out her bishop, and this is the Queen's Gambit declined exchange variation, and this is what I play with the white pieces. So I know this very well because I always play this with white. So now she brought out her bishop, and like you can see, we were playing this at tempo because all of this is theory, and we both knew all the moves. And now it was time to think a bit because I wanted to figure out where I was going to go with my bishop and my knight. So I spent a little bit of time looking, and then I ended up going bishop g4, trying to punish the fact that she hadn't brought out her queen. So she moved back the bishop, and now I thought, okay, now her bishop has gone from being quite active to being a bit more passive. That's a small win in my book. I brought out my knight, she went h3, and now I simply went back with my bishop. But I realized now actually that I could have taken her knight and gone g5 because I now saw that I could go g5 right now. And the idea is that her bishop is under attack and it only has 1 square, but if it goes to that 1 square, I'll be able to trade it off and win a pawn. And that was what was about to happen. So the seemingly very innocent move h3 that didn't seem like such a big of an issue actually became quite a big problem for my opponent. And you know, I had just lost my last game, so I was just thinking, okay, Anna, come on, let's bring it on. Let's go g5. Let's not be afraid. She threatened my bishop, but I thought, okay, let me just defend my bishop then. I don't need to calculate taking her bishop because I'm still threatening her bishop and she's still going to have the same issue now when her bishop moves back. So now I was feeling very confident, and especially because now her king was also more vulnerable. So she had to bring her bishop back, and I traded it off and then won a pawn. But things were not over yet. I had a very good position, but things were still able to get very tricky. So I still had to be careful. And you know what they say, the most difficult thing to do is to win a winning position in chess. That is actually a saying. So she went queen d2, threatening my rook, and I had to make the choice, should I move the rook back or should I defend it? I decided to defend it. Queen e7, now defending it. She brought her rook, I brought my rook, keeping my rook ultra protected, and now her position would be way better if her king wasn't so vulnerable, but the problem she has as well is that her pawns in front of the king are very vulnerable and very weak. So now I was very happy, and I was just waiting. I had a lot of time as well. I had 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. She was trying to find a tactical way of being able to trap my rook, which now doesn't have a lot of squares to go to, which is a very good idea by her. And so she did. She went knight e5, which I think is on a practical level a very good idea because my rook is under attack right now and I don't really have a good way of defending it, so maybe I have to give up on exchange. So I wasn't exactly sure, but I thought, okay, even if I give up on exchange, I'm going to get some pawns and I'm just going to have a great position. And with giving up on exchange, I mean sacrificing my rook for a knight or a bishop. Also, I have forgotten to mention, but this tournament was played in Monaco, which is just such a beautiful place. So I was really enjoying in between the rounds, getting a bit of sunlight as I live in Sweden. Okay, so I ended up taking that pawn on g3 and she had to move the king. And I thought, okay, sure. Now I'm probably going to have to give up my rook, but her king is so vulnerable, it's fine. And I'm giving it up for a knight. So I ended up taking her knight, and my idea was that I was going to take the other knight soon, and also I had an incredible square on e4 to bring my knight to. So she took back with the pawn, which makes sense, and I took her knight because I didn't want her to take my bishop. And now, of course, she doesn't really want to take back with the pawn because her king will be so weak then. So she was once again trying to come up with some tactical ideas. Her time was ticking. She only had 25 seconds left, and she decided to move back her bishop, with the idea being that she wanted to take back my knight with the rook instead of the pawn. So at first, the reason I kind of got my hand up was because I wanted to go knight takes g4, but then I realized that her bishop is defending that as well. So I realized, no, it's better to go knight e4, now blocking the rook, threatening her queen, and now I'm probably going to be winning a piece because she cannot really take back anymore, and I have time to move my knight. So now her time was really getting very low. She sacrificed her rook. I took it back with my bishop to make sure that the king would have a more difficult time to move. And now she took my knight. I took back, and it was now going to be a checkmate because the king had nowhere to go with my bishop there. And here she resigned. So it all just went down for my opponent from the moment she went for this move h3 very early on, which really seemed like such a small move that didn't really matter, but I guess she missed my trick, which I also missed, honestly, till the move I made it. But I hope that this game was enjoyable for you to watch. I was very happy here because now my tournament was going pretty good. Of course, every win was really good for me. And in this moment, I had 2 points out of 4 games. So I was happy, and it was time to recharge for the next game. But my opponent played also a good game, but it was just that little mistake early on. And I think, honestly, I played a really good game. Like, I think I played almost a flawlessly game. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, and very soon, I will show you what happened in round 5 of this tournament, because that was a very, very exciting game as well. And I was going to face another girl from Ukraine.